Just because we live in the digital age of dating doesn't mean that dating these days is any better than what it was. Take our minds back to 1980s where we didn't have any cell phones, right? And imagine you're supposed to meet your date somewhere and you got the location wrong. How would you get in touch with them? Really? Would you go to a payphone and call them? Maybe. But where were you going to call them at? Their house? They would have left their house already. So it was difficult back in the day. And yes, I dated in those days. But now I am dating again. And it is 2025 and it's about to be 2026. And this feels like digital desperation. Give me a show of hands. In the comments, put a 1 if you have been dating in the last month. Now, if you wanted to throw your phone out the window at least once, put a 2. I have to tell you, we're all living the same nightmare. And today we're going to laugh and talk about it together. I'm a soul coach and I speak to so many people about dating, and the people who are going on the dating lines, they're putting themselves out there, but they are not enjoying it any better. I'm going to walk you through 17 dating ways that has completely lost its mind in 2025. And spoiler alert, it's not all bad news. Stick around to the end because I've got some actual hope for all of us. All right. Algorithm overload. First up, AI compatibility scores, right? Especially if you're on dating sites. Dating apps now use 47 different algorithms to tell if someone's your soul mate. Get that? But here's the thing. The algorithm thinks I'm compatible with guys who collect vintage spoons because I liked one antique store photo. Yeah. The math isn't mathing. Now, don't get me wrong. I would love to be with a guy that collects vintage spoons. He has an interest, and of course, it's nice. But at the same time, I don't want every guy that's being presented to me just interested in vintage spoons. You see, we have access right now to more potential partners than ever before, but we're more single than ever before. How does that add up? It's like being in a candy store with infinite options, but you can't pick anything because what if there's something better in aisle 47? Oh my gosh. Like, I know you're feeling me. And get this, there are now 847 different dating apps. I'm not exaggerating. That's a lot of apps, and there could be more. That's just what I counted. There's one specifically for people who hate cilantro. Yeah. Another for people who love pineapple on pizza. In the comments below, put pineapple if you like pineapple on pizza. I think that's the age-old question when it comes to pizza. At this point, there's probably an app for people who are tired of dating apps. You get what I mean? And I know a lot of my clients as a soul coach, that's the one thing they say, please don't tell me I have to put myself out there on dating apps. Because dating has become somewhat of a marketplace where everyone's trying to optimize their romantic ROI. People are literally A/B testing their dating profiles, like they're launching a startup, romance has been disrupted, and not in a good way. Every date now comes with the pressure of being Instagram worthy. Yeah, that's a tough one, I think, because, it's like people don't just want to grab coffee anymore. They want to go to that trendy place with the neon signs, and they want to take photos of it to say they've been there. And the date turns more into an excursion as opposed to trying to open your heart to give and receive love. It's like we're dating for the masses and not for the heart. And what about ghosting? Ghosting has evolved. We now have soft ghosting. zombieing, breadcrumbing, and one of my personal favorites, cushioning, where people keep you as a backup option. Yeah, that one doesn't really feel good, but they just keep you there on the sidelines while they explore other matches, and they're like, maybe that person I can go back to. It's like we need a dating dictionary just to understand what's happening to us. And a lot of my female clients and male clients, they feel like they're going through their healing era. They just want to move on. They just want to find that person. And they are ready now to just be single as well, on the other hand, while they focus on themselves. And most of them are like, they're ready for something serious, but everyone that they're meeting is not ready for emotional connections, which is valid. I mean, at least they're being very honest and they're not leading someone on. I had a client that met a guy and he's like, oh, wow, you're really beautiful. You look great. I love the way you dress. And wow, you're so smart. Our conversations are awesome. So, what are you doing tomorrow? You want to hook up? And she's like, hook up as in get together or like just hang out? And he's like, yeah, both. She's like, well, I want to get to know you more. Is that all right? And he's like, oh, I'm not really looking for that deep, deep connection, But, she's like, all right, then that's all right. Like I am. And, at least he was honest with her. But she said to me that she just now wants to focus on herself and she's going to leave herself open to whatever comes. Now, half the people on dating sites are just there for content. And some of them are using it like a Facebook. Many of them are not even looking for love. They're looking for podcast material, TikTok stories, or Instagram reels. And you're not going on a date. You're becoming someone's next viral story. No joke. I have a guy client who was dating a female. And not dating. He was talking to her on the dating app and she gave him a questionnaire. She's like, give me the 10 things that you hate about dating. And he was like, okay. And then she's like, give me 10 restaurants that you really enjoy and why. And she gave him all these questionnaires and then unliked him. She was like, blocked him. And he couldn't figure out why. Now, when she showed up on his TikTok screen, all of the restaurants that he liked came out on one of her reels. And not only that, the content that she was putting out, one of her reels was of his 10 best likes about dating and 10 hates about dating. He couldn't believe it. He actually commented on the post itself on the reel and she just laughed at it. She put, haha, like, you got me. It's like we've actually forgotten to have actual conversations. Everything's either a meme, a GIF, or a voice note that somehow is both too long and too short. When did hey become a complete conversation starter? And I don't mind when, someone messages me and says, hey, but then I kind of do mind because if I'm busy, I want to be able to get back and know exactly what they want. So, hey, and follow up. Hey, Cerise, what's going on? Blah, 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 blah. And then I can read it and get back. But I've noticed that some people just say, hey, and then I'm like, hey. And I'm like, oh man, let me know if that kind of annoys you or if you even do that, And I do believe that memes are great. GIFs are great. I leave a lot of voice notes and I really do enjoy them. But when I am dating someone, I also enjoy a little conversation, Everyone's so focused on presenting their best self that nobody knows who they really are anymore because they're presenting their best selves through social media, which is not bad again, but it is not bold. It is just copying the masses. We're all just curated versions of ourselves, and then we wonder why we don't feel genuine connections. I vote to have everyone just be real again. So what if they get canceled? So what about the cancel culture? Like, who cares? Just be real. Stop following this one road to everywhere, you know? We want everything fast. Fast food, fast Wi-Fi, fast love. But good relationships are like slow cooked meals. And you gotta be real. You have to come out and you have to really show who you are, not based on an Instagram post or an Instagram reel or, you know, the hot restaurant that's out or the new song, you know. Relationships need to develop flavor like that real good meal. We're trying to microwave love and wondering why it tastes so terrible. And not only that, what about being emotionally unavailable? And somehow that has become cool. People wear their commitment issues like a badge of honor. It's complicated. I'm just not that person, you know? And it is all right to say I'm not just that person, but it has now been replaced even more and more these days with I'm working on myself as the go-to excuse. I'm not ready. I'm healing me. And that's great too. You see all the oxymorons here. You see all the contradictions here. They sound great because we're so used to them and they feel fine. Sure, heal yourself. But can we heal together without trauma bonding? You know, social media has turned dating into a comparison sport. Your ex is apparently living their best life with someone who looks like a Disney character, and you're eating cereal for dinner. You know, the highlight reels are destroying our reality. And, you know, I mean, I love creating content. That's what I'm doing right now. But somewhere we're so scared of getting hurt that we've built walls so high we can't even see over them. Everyone's got defense mechanisms on defense mechanisms. We're protecting ourselves right out of love itself. Like I said, afraid to speak up, afraid to be canceled, you know? But here's the real thing. Real connections still happen. They just happen when we stop trying so hard. The best relationships that I know as a soul coach, and I watch people get in real deep commitments, are when the people have started with being themselves, not trying to optimize themselves, not trying to compete online. You know, people who have deleted the apps for a week. You know, they joined something different, something they actually like, pottery, hiking, book clubs, whatever. And yes, they meet other people. They meet someone that may just become a friend that can introduce them to their soulmate, you know? But in the midst of it all, they actually meet themselves again. I'm not saying delete the apps completely, but I'm saying give yourself a break from them and go on one of those meetup apps and go hang out with people. Join a book club, go to the movies, and yeah, go to one of those great restaurants that you see on Instagram, but go with friends and then, you know, not try to take a date there just so it can be a groovy date. Whatever happened to taking walks on the beach? That used to be so cliche, but these days I'm thinking it was probably a really good thing to do. You walk, you talk, get to know someone. By the end of the walk, you either realize that what they said is something you don't like or what they said is something great and you're already holding their hand, you know? Yeah. Well, it's always a good thing when you can get into a good relationship from the start with someone who actually likes who they are or has realized who they are. And if they don't like themselves, they're working on themselves. They don't have to be perfect, but they realize what their downfall is, and hey, they're dealing with it and they're straight up about it. Dating these days, it's hard, but it's not impossible. Love didn't disappear. It just got buried under algorithms and anxiety. The people who find real connections are the ones who remember that dating is about finding someone who makes you laugh, not someone who makes you look good on a reel. And honestly, that's always been true. Algorithm or no algorithm, I have seen people these days, couples, get together. I have a client. She's been my client for a while, and I was online and I saw her ex-boyfriend. Okay. And her ex-boyfriend is now dating a new woman. And you can just see that behind the scenes, these two are a hot mess. But who am I to judge? I'm just analyzing. I'm an observer. And on the screen, they are trying to make it like their relationship is so perfect. And hey, it is perfect looking. They are doing a great job making it look perfect online. But then you can see in her face when she is, the girlfriend, when she is upset, he's hogging the camera too much, or he's not giving her a chance to talk, or she's embarrassed him and he kind of like just took it on the chin. And there's so much. It just goes on and on and on. And I'm like, he would have been better off with my client. Why in the world is he with this chick? But again, there's no judging here. There's just observations. And hey, if it makes him happy to have a woman to create content with, then maybe they can just continue to create content all day, every day. They go to bed talking about their reels. They wake up editing their reels. Throughout the day, they're doing their reels. Maybe they're just content relationship creators. I don't know. Now, I will say this. You are worthy of an amazing relationship. You are amazing yourself. When you find yourself looking online and looking on YouTube or Instagram or TikTok and Facebook, and you're comparing yourself to those creator relationships, you have to realize that they're not robots. They also have their ups and their downs and their ins and their outs and their loving moments, arguing moments, and it's not always perfect. Now, if you're looking for a relationship and you feel like you know yourself, you feel like you're good with yourself, and you feel like you are worthy for someone else, then make sure that you read the red flags when you meet someone, and don't be desperate because you are lonely or because you haven't had a relationship in a while. Many people these days are finding it hard to find a relationship, one that is strong, one that will stand the test of time. And it's all because of the options that people think they have online. They go on Instagram and someone slips into their DMs and they're like, whoa, this person looks great. Here they are already in aisle 5, happily shopping with their amazing love that they're with. And then someone's peeking over from aisle 6 saying, hey, come on over here to this aisle, come check me out, what I got here on these shelves. And all of a sudden, the person says to the person in aisle 5 with them, hey, I'll be right back. I'm going to go look in the other aisle to see what's happening. And the person in aisle 5 doesn't even realize that their love went to go shop with someone else. And all of a sudden, before they know it, they're ghosted, they're dusted, or they are cushioned, and the person goes from aisle to aisle to aisle to aisle, back from 6 to back to 5. And the person can't make up their mind because the person who slipped into their DMs, if you get what I'm saying, the person who slipped into their DMs isn't bad. But at the same time, They don't clone the person that they were already with. So the person that DM them has something totally different to offer. And that's where too many options confuses every relationship. And I find that there are a lot of women online who are willing to sell their souls and everything else, and they are happy doing it because they want to be able to get that, home by a certain time, or car, or even just get their nails done, even just get their hair did. And it comes to the point where everything becomes somewhat minimized. There we go. There's the word, minimized. It just kind of gets really shrunken, and it doesn't seem like love is the main goal any longer. And it's just saying that you are in a complicated relationship. Take that out of your vocabulary. This digital disaster, this digital disturbance, this digital desperation that's going on is not what dating is all about. Take it back to basics. And if you are on the dating app, make sure that you meet somebody that wants to be with you anywhere, not just at the new fancy restaurant. And make sure that when you talk to them, they're more interested in you and not their profile and trying to perfect their online memes or their online content creation. There are really good people out there. People that don't even care about going on the internet. They just care about loving you. And even if you are a content creator and they're not, they'll support you. They'll hold the camera for you. They'll help edit things for you. And if they don't know how, they will learn because they will support you. And likewise, if there's something they're interested in, I'm sure that you're going to come to bat and you're going to hit that ball over the wall to show them that you got their back while they are running bases. Guys, let's bring dating back to being desirable and not desperate. Let me know what your dating disasters have been. You can email them to me and I'll use them in a future video. My email address is CeriseFairfax@gmail.com. And that's my name, and this is the Fifth Dimension. Take care, everyone. Huge hugs, loads of love, big blessings. Please make the best of today. You deserve it. Tomorrow is not promised to you. And I wish you all a lot of love. Take care.